All right, good evening, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
How we doing?
How you doing?
Well,
I'm doing okay. You had a busy weekend of editing, and the
yeah,
episode's like for what, like 2 hours?
less than that, I think.
Less than that.
Yeah. Um,
The episode came together pretty quick, though. Really.
yeah, I mean, I wrote probably. By the way, tell us if our audio is balanced between me and Coury. I wrote like half of this episode actually back in January.
Yeah.
And then you said, you really need to be working on the Super NT episode, or else we're not going to get out like when the embargo is lifted. Which we really wanted to do because, we wanted to be on the forefront of that excitement, obviously.
Right, you're a little low.
I'm low and echo-y? Oh, I know why. Let me fix that. I thought my levels looked a little weird.
Oh, now you sound a lot better coming towards me too.
What? Oh, am I sending you?
It sounds like you're sending me the really good. Maybe I'm wrong.
Is it this?
Now you sound far away. You say you. Now saying you sound much better. They're saying so. Maybe you sound far away. I don't know.
Well, do I sound okay to you?
Yeah, you sound good to me.
Okay. The problem was
There's a fair bit of hiss.
Hiss?
Yeah, I feel like you switched microphone.
Well, I switched. I don't know why there would be hiss.
Now everyone's saying it sounds good. Sounds good.
No hiss. I mean,
Somebody said that. I don't know.
It's probably someone with like super hearing. I was on the Zoom was the problem.
Okay.
Hang on. Let me just make sure the connections are good over there.
All right. Some people hear some hiss. The hissing is from the compressor. There's a lot of hiss.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there should really be hiss.
I mean, you're whatever you're talking to me on, you should be using on the stream, I think.
What is it?
It sounds real good.
Is it this?
You're just hitting it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there shouldn't be hiss, unless
Well, that's what you're talking to me.
Yeah, well then.
So you're sending that audio to me. You're not sending it to the stream.
Well, it looks like it's going to the stream.
Oh, I don't know. You have it set up differently than I do. There's lots of echo too. I don't know. They might be.
I don't know. I don't know why that would be. I've only got 2 audio sources.
I mean, I don't hear any.
Maybe I should restart the stream. You have weird audio issues that fix when you restart the stream.
Maybe. No echo on my. There's echo. I don't understand.
Oh, I bet I know why. It's probably because I didn't see that the stream window was running on mine.
Oh.
Does that sound better now? How about that? I
yeah.
paused the stream. I didn't realize the stream was running.
A lot of people are asking. We are going to be playing with the EON HD, and there will be a video on it eventually. We're waiting until the Badass Consoles adapter is out as well, because I think that it just wouldn't be worth the time to make 2 videos. We might as well like have both of them in one video.
I've gained so many mixed messages. Didn't fix anything better.
Yeah.
I don't know what the problem is. I have no clue what people are talking about. There shouldn't be any hiss. Like,
I don't know. I guess once the game starts, I think it's gonna be fine.
Hold on a second. Let me.
Someone was saying you gotta up the
Oh, I did.
the compressor ceiling.
Oh, maybe that's
Anything on your have you changed anything on your compressor lately?
No, unless my dog did.
Yeah.
I see what, but you know what? That's not going to be a problem once I'm playing the game.
Okay. Yeah. They're saying it sounds like it's gated, so when you're talking, it goes away.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Once you start playing the game, I think it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, it's not going to matter.
Now it's echoing.
It was because I turned on
Echo now and still static. It's gone, and now it's gone super echo.
I turned off. I turned on monitoring.
I wonder if it's that.
They were
It
hearing.
can't be that. Let's see if that has anything to do with it.
What, you?
No, I had you muted. I was actually sending my.
Well, the echo was because I turned on audio monitoring so I could hear the hiss.
I see. Okay.
Well, I'm not worried about the hiss.
All right. Let's just.
I don't know why people were saying they hear echo though, but whatever.
Last week it was different because it was me streaming.
Well, how about let's start
start the game.
Start playing and see if we lose the hiss.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Oh, there it is.
This is kind of my go-to like GameCube test game, actually.
Yeah.
We're gonna actually have to delete a file.
Uh-oh, which one do you delete? B?
I think I'll do B. B's my complete file. Are you crazy?
I'm kidding. I'm not a huge fan of this game.
I mean, it's okay. It's, you know, it's an interesting game, but I mean, it's a big step back from 64, you know, and then Galaxy blew it away. It's probably the least good 3D Mario.
Yeah. I'd agree with you. I think that this might have been the first Mario game that I bought myself.
No, boys, don't touch that stuff.
This came out like a couple of days after I moved into my freshman year of college. And I think
it came out like in September, right?
No, it was late August. 2002.
And then Eternal Darkness came out a couple of months after that, right?
No, Perfect Dark came out before.
We got a $5 donation from Lon TV.
Oh, thank you.
It says here's a couple of bucks to offset when the big N will take from you once the game pops up on the stream. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it depends. It depends. Like, I think that we have enough stuff going on screen. It might not happen. The only time it's happened was with Nintendo stuff. When you played Mario 2. You gonna try this with the M cable? You could try it with the M cable as well. Stack it.
I maybe could.
I think it's more effective just to do it straight up.
Sandy is very fascinated by Flood here. She's been like really paying attention to the TV big time recently.
Yeah.
I've never seen a dog pay so much attention to things on screen.
Well, like one of the main things that goes on at your house. Yeah, I mean, like, something about the controls in this game.
It
just I just didn't like them. And I especially hated the levels when you lose the backpack.
Oh, see, those I always thought were really fun because it was sort of a, you know, at the time we hadn't had any sort of level-based Mario stuff in a really long time, and so that was, you know, kind of a reimagining of 2D Mario and 3D, you know, and which Galaxy kind of became in a lot of ways, you know.
Yeah.
Galaxy kind of was that. It was all, a lot of that stuff I sort of see as a prototype for Galaxy. What's interesting about the controls of this game is it feels closer to 64 than any other 2D Mario, I think.
Any other 3D Mario, I mean?
Or any other 3D Mario, yeah. It feels closer to 64, other than the fact that they took out a lot of moves, like the long jump and the normal backflip and stuff. And they made the wall jumps Mega Man X style. But just the speed and general movement and jumps, very similar. Very, very similar to 64. They sort of slowed Mario down a lot, starting with Galaxy. But they took away a lot of the moves. I mean, Mario just doesn't feel as versatile in this one compared to 64, I think.
Yeah. I feel like the brights are too bright. Like there's a
Oh,
lot of
that's
detail.
the game. I mean, that's the style of the game in this area.
Okay. But there's definitely a lot of detail being lost, I think.
Yeah, but it's intentional. I mean, I don't really know what to do about the hissing. Not in a
we'll just
pinch
have to figure it out
anyway.
another time. I mean, we can't.
I mean, I can move the.
Oh, we got a $10 donation from Mike Herman. It says, "Love you guys, keep it up. Been watching you for years." Well, thanks for
you.
watching us for years. It's crazy we've been doing this for years.
Let me look at the compressor really quick and see if there's anything I can do in a pinch, but I don't know.
The accused is charged with polluting our beautiful home, and yes, endangering our very way of life. Indeed, how can one not be aware of what is going on? Though it is daytime in Delfino Plaza, our poor residents tremble beneath a veil of darkness. Expert shine scholars have determined that this darkness has arisen because all of our guardians, the shine sprites, have vanished from their gathering spot at the Shine Gate. The reason?
Joe, I think that we've been spoiled by the, or you've been spoiled from going from the OSSC to the Framemeister.
Behold this sketch of the perpetrator based on eyewitness descriptions.
That two-layered
Truth is obvious. The guilty
effect.
party sits among us. It is none other than Mario.
Objection! Overruled. I judge the defendant guilty as charged. I hereby order the defendant to clean this entire island until Isle Delfino is completely free of his vile handiwork.
Okay, let's see. I've got the gate on at a much higher threshold, so
The hiss is gone. No static.
no more
hissing
hiss.
is
But
going away.
when I talk,
Mario, data
does it sound like I'm being gated weirdly through the gate?
troubled by pollution, but the pollution itself is not the main problem.
Everyone's saying you put the snakes away. Oh, we got a $10 donation from Yush saying, "Love the new video. Have fun with my favorite 3D Mario."
Yeah, people in the Patreon Discord chat were talking a little bit about Sunshine before we even decided to stream it. Maybe it even influenced me a little bit. I don't know.
There is no longer any power to support
Joe says that you're kind of getting a little bit gated. It's fine. It's fine if you don't talk.
Okay.
the only way to ensure the return of the shine
When I
sprites
talk, no
to
other
keep
sounds
the island from
exist.
becoming any dirtier. The
Yeah, it's gated a bit much, but you know what?
even as we speak,
I don't know if we can.
you, Mario,
Maybe next
are being
cutscene.
treated as a criminal.
Well, there's not a lot of cutscenes in this.
Our best to
That's true.
resolve this situation.
I mean, I don't know what to do. There wasn't hiss before. I don't think this is new, right?
I think I've heard people say that there's hiss before, but I think it's okay. I think it's okay for tonight.
But some people seem really annoyed.
Yeah.
Go straight that way. You can't miss the mesh now.
Aaron Cincinnati says, "Try finish reworking my setup." And I saw tonight's tips and tweaks video, and he's back to the drawing board.
We'll know if you start flagging off.
I saw, you know, I have that one solution that works with my Wii remotes. I mean, we didn't like put any of the stuff that I did into it, but I have a thing for, it's a Wii U, and it has a thing for the gamepad and 2 Wii remotes. And I found it at the St. Vincent de Paul, like right around down the street, and it was brand new. This is exactly what I was looking for. It's pretty awesome, but I've seen it online and it's kind of expensive.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what led me to find those Nyko charge blocks was I was looking for a Switch Pro Controller dock for a long time, and it was a while before I could find one. The only thing I could find, there's a bunch of they're like it's like a dock for the dock. For the Switch dock, and like you can put like games, and there is a Pro Controller charge thing on. It's kind of weird looking though, and it puts the Pro Controller charge spot in front of the Switch itself, and I didn't really care for that. There's a bunch of them on Amazon by different brands, you know, same thing, different brands.
Right.
And I finally found that Switch charge block or whatever Nyko calls it. And then I saw they were doing the others, and I'm like, oh, this is like exactly what I want. It was perfect because I was looking for another PS4 solution anyway, due to how that one dock that I showed had stopped working.
I could definitely hear the gating that's going on.
Like what's the problem? Is it cutting me off or something?
Yeah, it just like it takes you know.
You can hear the
pick
gate.
it up.
That's right, because I'm sending you this, right?
I think so. I don't know. I can hear it though.
You hear the gate.
It only happens like when you first start talking, or like when you are in between words. Sometimes I guess. Yeah, it's a little choppy.
Oh, I mean
Why don't you try loosening up the gating a little bit? Just a teeny bit. Yeah, the charge blocks are pretty cool. I ended up getting them myself. And the PlayStation 4 ones are really cheap. I think mine was like $11 on Amazon. The Switch one is you just made it up a little too. I could hear the hiss there. Jakester, it's pretty impossible for me to make a choice at this point.
Okay, how is this a little bit better?
Good. I think it sounds good.
I can also adjust like the attack rate, but
yeah, I mean the attack rate is like really what would happen.
That's the issue. Like right now, the attack rate is pretty fast with slow. I mean, I'm not too much of an expert on sound gating.
I think the attack rate is like how fast it kicks in.
Right, and I assume releases, but I don't know whether a slower saying would be good or not.
Yeah, I mean I can hear a little bit of hiss like when you're talking to me, but I don't know if that's just. But someone asked me if I had to choose between Sega or Nintendo, and it's like it's impossible for me to really make a choice at this point.
I mean, the thing is, Nintendo still is making new stuff, and well, I mean, it's not that Sega isn't, but I mean, in terms of consoles, you know, if you had to stick with Sega, but you couldn't have a Nintendo console, you know.
Right. I mean, I just got these this artwork yesterday when I was at the Louisville Arcade Expo, and this guy does like these comic book style, like they're comic book covers, but they're games. And I got 3 of them. I got a Jet Set Radio Future, a Space Harrier, and a Altered Beast one.
The Altered Beast one's pretty amazing. I love how the cover says "The Altered Beast."
yeah, I love that too. I mean, they're not huge, but I'm definitely gonna frame them and then you know, put them up. The guy who does it his name is, you can probably find him.
One
looks
problem.
like you can find him at www.tabletopfetus.com. Let me make sure that that's all right. Interesting. Okay, yeah, that's this guy Rusty Shackles. Let's see if there's anything on here. Okay, if you click on Buy My Artwork, you can kind of go through everything. He's done the covers for a lot of the Hardcore Gaming 101 books. Oh, there's the first Shine Get.
Yeah. It was, like a month up until release, and it was still showing in online screenshots. It was still showing Shine Get.
Yeah.
It is what it says in the Japanese version.
I know, there's a lot of discussion about it.
I know, it was...
back in the day.
Yeah, I was really hoping that they would stick with it. I always... Like, that whole, get thing, I mean... has always been a Japanese sort of thing. I don't really get, how it works with their language, but... I know sometime later that I don't know if you can really see in the game, but in I'd have to check, but in there's some artwork of the gold saucer, just like a 3D, like a high quality 3D render. That just one of the LED scrolls in the background, outside, I think it's outside the Chocobo racing area, just says "get." Says nothing else, just "get" with some exclamation marks.
The water effects in this game are really, really good.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's probably the best on the system. And I think still some of just the most interesting looking water. It's a look that holds up.
Yeah. Oh, Ninja Commander said, thanks for telling me they finally got rid of the Wii U battery. Now I'm angry I didn't get it. I bought the extended battery it's the second they came up.
Oh yeah, me too. Well,
I've never had an issue even with the old battery, running out. I just figured it was best to do it.
I bought an extra AC adapter for the controller because I was determined to use the I was of course determined to use the dock, and you had to use the power supply with the dock. But I was like, well, if I have to charge while playing, I need another one. I don't want to unplug the dock all the time. So I bought another one, but then I bought the extended battery and very rarely had to actually plug in while playing. Maybe once while I was playing Pikmin 3.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even think of it. I mean, I played my Wii U for the first time in forever when I had the get that Bayonetta footage for you
Yeah.
for this, because a friend of yours was borrowing your copies,
Right.
and then because I ended up playing it, to capture that footage, I couldn't like get it out of my head. I mean, I love the first Bayonetta. The second one is really, really good, but I kind of passed on the Switch version because I was kind of bummed out about the not having a physical version of the first game. But then I just kept thinking about how I really wanted to replay it, and I really wanted to replay the second. And I kind of rationalized to myself that I do have 2 physical copies of the first game. I don't need a physical copy on the Switch, and it's okay.
I have 2
Actually,
physical
it might be
copies
cool
as
just
well.
having it on the system in general, just like there for whenever,
Yeah, I mean, it kind of made me want to get the Switch version too. Because it's like, why not? I mean, it's a pretty basic port, but, after watching Digital Foundry stuff, like, I had forgotten, like, how inconsistent the performance in Bayonetta 2 is.
Yeah, I
On
mean,
the
I never
Wii U.
didn't even notice because I mean it's so
So
big, like
yeah.
so much stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean that's what I like about the games. Is like it's not really my genre, like in terms of from like a gameplay perspective. Like I've never, like I don't really, the whole Devil May Cry style of gameplay has never really resonated with me. But I like the situations. Like I like just the scope of everything and how stupidly big it is.
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely have recently been kind of like catching the Switch fever. I just like it's just like such a fun game or a fun system to buy games for.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too.
I mean, on Friday I just ran it. I played through Wonder Boy, just like down in the living room.
Oh, you played the whole thing.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
play?
it's-
You
it's like 4
played it.
hours.
You played it on the system itself.
Yes.
And see, it's so funny that both of us, you kept being like, it's never gonna leave the dock,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's turned out to be such a cool aspect of the system in a way I never really expected.
Well, it's been pretty key, especially with kids. Like when my son's playing, I can
Pick up
do
the
that.
system and take it with you.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's great. And I also feel like, when there's like a small indie game where like performance isn't really going to matter, or if it's a game where I'm like, it's going to run good enough on the Switch as opposed to PS4
Yeah,
or
I mean, I
Xbox.
think
Like,
that,
for
like-
example, Dragon Quest Builders. Like, I want to get the Switch version of that because it's just like, seems like a game that'll be good, to be able to take with you, and it seems to play quite nicely on dock mode anyway. So it's just like I like the idea that when I buy a game, I don't know whether I'm going to be at home or want to maybe think like, oh, this will be a good travel game, Like it
Right.
could, it could be a travel game or it could be an at-home game. It has that flexibility.
Yeah, and that's pretty nice, And I haven't bought when I bought Bayonetta yesterday. I was so close to, I had Dragon Quest Builders in my hands too. I was like, I kind of want to get the Super Hedora from Limited Run this Friday, so I was like, I shouldn't spend the money right now. But I do want the Switch version of that. And then I saw it was in this in your episode in the background kind of
Saw
for
what?
like one, and it was in the background of.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was the demo. I don't have the game, the full game.
Yeah, I was
yet.
surprised to see that, like, oh, okay. So I thought you had the game. Oh, you were gonna get it from Best Buy, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I thought I had it pre-ordered on Amazon, and that's why I didn't even realize it was out because I thought I had pre-ordered it and I didn't have it. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't pre-order it. I don't know. I definitely thought I pre-ordered it at some point. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't. But yeah, that was the demo. There was very little gameplay footage in this episode.
We got a donation of $9.99 from RKR402. It says, "I'm afraid of what limited run will do with Switch games, or how hard it will be to collect for."
I think Switch is going to be hard to collect for regardless, because, you know, whenever I go to, you know, just a regular store like Target or whatever, I'll like look at the Switch games and it's like, wow, there are, you know, Switch games just coming out that I had no idea about. It's very much a similar situation to how we discovered like PS4 had all of the so-called budget games that we called them in that one episode. Like there's just like a lot of indie games getting physical releases. Like Nicalis is releasing like a whole bunch, I think.
Yeah.
That, you know, are physical. You know, I just found out, apologies to Limited Run, but when I saw that, what's it called, Fallen Legion or something like that?
Right.
That they're publishing. They're publishing the PS4 and Vita versions. And I was like, oh, this game looks really interesting. And then I looked and saw that I think it's NIS America is publishing a Switch version. So I'm like, oh, I think I'll get that one instead. Obviously, those
It just seemed like the kind of game you want to play on that system.
Yeah, because it looks like, I mean, it looks like a game that I would probably like to, you know, play on on a trip sometime, you know? It just looked like a good travel game. But, I just like getting games for the Switch, but very much stuff like that, where it's just like...
I just think that, like, most systems at this point, I mean, like you said, PS4, there's just so much stuff that I didn't even know it came out.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be, I feel bad for anybody who's going for, like, a complete library in that.
Yeah. Why can't I drop? And why am I doing this weird ghosty thing when I'm...
It's the EON HD.
Look at that weird... Oh, it went away. I think he was in some weird... Now I can drop. I think I was in some, like, state between flying and not flying. There was, like, a weird graphical effect there.
I'm watching you doing it.
It was really strange. I couldn't drop when I hit the B button. I don't know why. Oops. You know what?
Yeah, the bad thing about the Switch is it doesn't have a D-pad. You know, I was playing Axiom Verge, and that has a lot of weird, like every button does something, and I had such a hard time, you know, being very like I had to use the D-pad a little bit, and I just could not do it with, you know, with the buttons on the Switch, the D-pad buttons. So I actually had to prop it up and get my my Pro controller, and I was like playing it that way, on the screen on the system itself with holding the Pro controller.
I don't think I've ever done that.
At the very, very end of the game, like the last boss.
Yeah, I remember hoping that I could use like the 8-bit DOE SNES controller with it, and then some people were saying, you can't do that because it uses like ZR and ZL.
Right. We got the physical versions of Axiom Verge. We were very interested in the documentary that came with the multiverse edition. Two Player Productions did a very good job with it.
I don't know why I'm bothering to get blue coins.
I can hear the music from this slightly gated, like just or something. I don't know if it's coming from your TV or what?
Probably for my TV.
The documentary on the Multiverse edition is not. It's not very long. It's about 25 minutes. For some reason, I thought it was going to be a little bit longer than that, but it's pretty well done. The game itself was really good too. It was it's hard to play it late at night because there's so much like bass in the music.
I noticed that too with the soundtrack because the Switch version came with a soundtrack that I think like PS4 did.
Right. And I was playing it late at night, and my wife texted me. She had like gone to bed, and she's like, "Do you hear that?" Like,
Yeah.
Oh, that's me. I have to turn off the subwoofer.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to playing that. But yeah, I really hope like when Nintendo starts up their online service that is supposed to have some like retro games included as part of that. I'm hoping that they might release a D-pad, like a D-pad Joy-Con.
Yeah. I mean, that would be pretty.
I saw some people saying that they would like to see them make like a GameCube Joy-Con set.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that would be a lot of fun. Like, I still think like the GameCube face button layout like is the best. Like, see, I love it. I love it. I mean, here's the thing. It doesn't translate well for like Virtual Console if they translate the buttons literally, because like
it doesn't translate good for games that are not designed with it in mind.
It does not. That is true. It does not translate well for games that are not designed with it. I see. But like the worst is like Mario World, for example. Like you can't like run and jump. Because you like can't hold Y and hit B. But like the thing I like about it so much, like I really felt this when I played Soul Calibur 2, because I had the I had the GameCube version of 2, and then 3 was PS2 exclusive, and I felt like my control options were more limited on PS3 because you can only realistically hit, circle and triangle or square and X simultaneously. Mm-hmm. While on the GameCube, you can hit A and B, you can hit A and Y, you can hit A and X, you can relatively easily hit even X and Y. Like your number of simultaneous presses are greater because of that central large button. That said, I never understood the fuss over. I never understood the fuss of like GameCube was like the only Smash controller. I never really understood that. I always preferred to just play Smash with its native controller. I mean, I'm actually
but we're not.
Yeah,
we're not pros.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination.
Not even close. But
oh, we got EON Gaming in the chat.
Oh wow, thank you. I was messing around with some Game Boy interface stuff.
Yeah, you were almost gonna stream Game Boy interface using it tonight.
Yeah. But they've changed a lot of Game Boy interface stuff lately. Like, obviously, I haven't been paying attention.
I think Extrems is actually in the chat, so if you want to ask about it, you can.
Oh, Extrems is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Makes
mean,
sense.
I didn't realize that it's like GBI LL and ULL like retired or renamed, because it looked like there's like now it's like there's like a speed run. It's like GBI SR, like a speedrunners version, and then there's SR Framemeister. So I'm guessing that's like ULL and LL, right? Is that right?
Yeah, it's like you said, it's been a little while since you've updated yours, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, I probably haven't updated in like a year and a half, I would imagine. Because one of our patrons sent me a like his settings that he uses with HDMI output with the Game Boy interface, and I was going to check it out, but I didn't really have enough time to, you know, make sure I was using his settings correctly and stuff.
So Extreme says that GBI SR is both LL and ULL.
So it's like better than either of those original ones. Like it's like them like rolled in together or something. The best of both worlds, so to speak.
I really wanted to burn a disc, like a mini DVD that has it just right on there without having to run it from the SD loader. GBI SR is the continuation of LL. Sorry, we should be on top of it. It's just
Yeah. So is ULL retired or is SR like the same latency as ULL? I mean, there's a lot of settings that I never really got into the nitty gritty of before because I was kind of relying on the Framemeister to.
But now that you're very OSSC centric,
Right.
you have to get into it a bit more. Does the GBI with the EON adapter play nice with the Framemeister? And think it like 240p through the HDMI input.
I know that our friend 8-Bit Duke was messing around with the GCHD using the Framemeister, and he was having some problems, I think, because he was trying to use copy Firebrand X's component settings, I think, and it was like the zoom wasn't working right or something.
Extreme says there's a new delay video setting. It can be set between 0 and 500 milliseconds.
Oh, okay. And I assume if you have it set at 0, is there potential for
The weirdness.
Yeah, like how do you know what is? I guess the Framemeister one has that profile preset to where it's Framemeister safe. Then that must be the situation. Uh-oh. Man, I'm doing kind of bad. You know, I played
a lot of life in this game now.
Yeah. I played through this game probably a year and a half ago. So you'd think I would have a little bit better memory of where to go.
Sonic Turtle says, I know you guys have been talking about it for a while, but when are you guys going to tackle CRT geometry? As soon as we can get the involvement of a actual CRT tape. That's really what we've been waiting for. We want it to happen. Hopefully, maybe something will be happening soon.
not use this path right now?
Extreme says delay video 0 is the ULL behavior, 1 is the default.
Okay.
What do you think about the PAL territory's 50 hertz problem? Can you do an episode about it? Just like 50 hertz in general. I mean, I don't know. It's difficult for us to do like PAL related stuff because
we have such limited access to a PAL related equipment.
The problem with the geometry stuff is that there's not going to be any kind of catch-all. Like everyone's going to have different results. You can't just say, "Oh, if you have this TV, do this." It's going to be different, like for every single TV.
I mean, if you're feeling, confident and you write down your numbers when you start adjusting your geometry, write down what the starting numbers are, and then don't adjust anything like too weird. Like mainly just adjust, the stuff
put it back. I mean, that's a big problem. I think a lot of people mess around with it and then they don't remember what they had originally, and they're like, "Oh, it looks horrible now."
Yeah, because it's not going to be perfect,
Yeah, I mean, that's very, very important.
It's
to realize.
Never gonna be perfect.
It's like it's not going to be perfect no matter what you do. It's not going to be perfect. So do you feel this is worth upgrading? This is worth upgrading to from component through the OSS?
The thing that component through the OSSC can do that I really like is the 2X, the 480p 2X, which is 960p. I've really come to like the look of that. I mean, obviously, with this, you've got access to a pure digital signal. Something I really want to test is I want to see like if there's a good quality HDMI to analog adapter, like either to VGA or component.
If you pull his arm off, it's like freaking out over there. That's kind of scary, actually. You'd think he'd just take it and, like, it'd fly back at him, but no, he flat out pulls off his arm. And it's like twitching around like crazy.
I'm not positive if I have to tear them off. Or if it just makes it easier to pull this.
Isn't there less lag from the GC video than the OEM component cable?
I wouldn't have any idea. Is that actually true that there is
I don't know, I haven't heard anything
lag on the component cable?
I haven't heard anything. It depends if you count. Electron Ash says it depends on if you count about 1 nanosecond as less lag.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, everything generates some degree of lag. I mean, when
Man,
you've got...
just like, look at his arm, it's going nuts. We reported that Badass Consoles claimed that way back in the GameCube episode. Should probably revisit. We need to revisit watching it.
great lens flare in this game.
Yeah. So I was kind of messing around with the new interpolation on the AVS.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
added in
yeah.
recent firmware. And I mean, it does a good job, but it makes like a lot of vertical lines where you can see where you may like blur it a little bit,
Right. Well,
like gel bars almost
like, but within solid color or not within solid color?
within solid color.
Really? That's odd.
Yeah, I put some photos in the Discord earlier.
Like the interpolation on the Super Nintendo Classic is
It's
you
pretty
know,
good.
It's good. It's not as smooth as like the Super NT, but but it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean it's cool that he's working on it just to have it, you know.
Yeah, I mean I'm
I thought
actually
he was done doing firmware updates. And
I'm surprised that that the FPGA can even handle it.
yeah, I mean it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, it's still a beta firmware, so.
I mean, it kind of makes me wonder if the analog NT, the NT Mini,
yeah, you know, probably could, you know.
it's just that Kev just hadn't developed anything like that prior to working on the Super
Right.
NT. Which, by the way, I think it was this past week there was new Super NT firmware.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was another one out last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, added a Game Genie support.
Okay, but the what I was going to mention was that the new firmware that released earlier in the week, or maybe it was last week, I forget, fixed some issues people had with the color not being accurate.
Right, that it's all fixed up now.
Yeah. Was it like
Yeah,
a
like it can-
YPBCR color space type, or YCBCR rather, color space conversion thing? Maybe, I forget.
No, I don't know. I just remember hearing that it was messed up, and you know, like Artemio and Firebrand X did like a lot of research into it, and they helped figure it out. But it's all correct now.
You know, these little things with the circles on the sides and the feet and the bills are maybe the stupidest Mario character design of all time. Our good friend Drumble calls them flipper Fs. But spelling out saying the whole F. It's as good name as any for him, I guess.
Yeah.
What is the Dune Bud Sandcastle? Yeah, I remember it was like
says it's indeed a mismatch of coefficients for RGB to YCBCR and YCBCR to RGB.
Okay.
But it's all good now.
Why was it converted to? Why wasn't it just pure RGB from the beginning? Why did it need to do the conversion? I'm getting a little bit of Wavebird interference here and there, but not too bad. I remember these deforming landscapes. That was like supposed to be like a big feature of this game. And I never thought it was like that big of a deal, really. Oops.
It's crazy. So I guess there's people like selling, like scalpers are selling the Super NT. It's like they've already done 2 more batches since it came out. So just at this rate, they're like doing them monthly. So just wait.
Yeah.
You got a
Have they
$5
done
donation.
3 shipments total then?
Hang on, we got a $5 Canadian $5 donation from Okuo, who says thank you for everything you do, and thanks to Try for sharing the TV settings that you have. Realized I had a few things wrong on my end.
Yeah, he had asked that in our Patreon chat. I was like, he was like, can you share your TV settings sometime? I'm thinking, oh gosh, like I don't even know what I've got set at this point. There's so many settings that I'm like, oh wait, I've got a phone. I'll just take pictures of my setting screens, and it was easy.
Extreme says that the conversion is necessary because HQX needs YCBCR.
Oh, okay.
The HQX, the scaling. It's not the...
Yeah, which I never use those.
I would love to have a data path, but I mean, I don't have... If they had audio built in, it'd make it a lot more appealing, I think.
I should pay attention. That's the thing in this game. If you don't pay attention to the opening cutscene for the level when it goes in, like sometimes you don't really know where to go. Maybe I'll do that. I'll exit the level and go back in because I wasn't paying attention. We were talking earlier today. Be curious what people in the chat think. We're talking about we want to do like some like little things that will just like little things that you could never make a full video out of, but just call it like an MLiG mini, basically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess the idea is that occasionally, like more. Well, hang on, we got a $5 donation from BW. It says, "Try just bought the Super UFO Pro 8 after watching your video on it. You're not alone with your preferences of using your own Super Famicom game."
Well, thank you.
I don't know why our donation. Sorry, I feel like they're not updating for some reason. I'm gonna take a look. Okay, go ahead about the MLiG minis.
Oh yeah, so I mean, I think we would like to come up with like some videos that we could just like edit in like an evening, and not to stop doing like the big videos by any means.
Have something out in between while we do these bigger stuff.
Right, and also like just like little things that's like, oh, that would be like a really fun thing, but we're just like afraid to do it because we're like, well, we normally do bigger things, and it's like that's too small for MLiG. But why? Why would something be too small? Like, like, what if we like tested something out and we thought it was interesting, and we just wanted to show like a couple of comparisons of like one thing, and maybe it could almost be a tease for like a bigger episode, or maybe it could just be something really fun and silly. It's just like, oh, here's this fun little thing. Like we've talked about a lot of things like this. Like we see like LGR do little things, and we saw Digital Foundry recently just did like this little tiny thing on that new build engine. I'm saying that right? Build engine, right? That Ion Maiden.
And it's kind of a cool thing, like how he was playing it on his PDM.
Yeah, and he was just like, here's a fun way to play this game that feels authentic to what it's trying to be. And it's like, what's wrong with making a little video like that?
Yeah.
Like it was fun, and we could come up with all kinds of, like, there's lots of little things that we come across all the time. It's like, oh, this is a neat thing, and then we forget about it because you know, we're working on some big video. It's like, well, if something inspires you, and you can make like a, you know, 2 or 3 minute video out of it, why not? People might just like to see that.
Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%, yes.
So, we're thinking we just call it MLiG Mini, and you
Well,
know,
someone was
like,
saying we should call it MLiG Bites. BYTES.
like malware
But then
bites.
again, someone tweeted to us and said they're enjoying the Gaiden episode, so maybe we'll call them MLiG Gaiden.
Yeah, that's the funny thing, because you know, this was like 12 minutes. It used to be like 12 minutes was a longer episode.
Yeah, and you know, like I think it's fine. I mean, this is kind of stuff we've already been like releasing for patrons up to this point.
Right. It might be a little more polished than that, than some of it.
Right. Like I did this like a 30-minute video, like looking through all my Phantasy Star stuff that I have. Like, that would be fun just to do stuff like that.
Yeah, that's like the perfect kind of concept. Like, just to look at all the Phantasy Star stuff. You have like, it was a little loose. Like it might not, like, you know, because a lot, you know.
I mean,
like you
it
said,
might be
was 30
something that I would
minutes.
redo for it.
Right.
So I think, you know, and also, you know, we have a couple of like kind of big things coming up that we're going to be traveling for, and it's going to make releasing like episodes difficult at times, so it gives us something to release on the channel while we're doing this stuff as well.
Which
And
would be documentary
easier for
type
us to-
stuff, FYI.
Right.
Not that we'll say what yet.
Oh yeah, we can. We definitely can. So that's kind of something that we've been talking about. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm thinking about even, you know, this week, maybe.
Yeah,
seeing
and
if
it's something we can
if I
produce
come
and we
up
can
with
kind
something.
of set it there. Yeah, we can, like we call it, like calling it like banking that.
Yeah.
We have stuff.
Have an episode in the bank.
Yeah, we need it. I love the reflections on those panels.
Yeah, it's impressive. There's a lot. You know, in some ways, like, I mean, Wind Waker is the GameCube game that is always, you know, gets the praise for its look. But I don't know. There's a lot of really neat things that Mario Sunshine does.
Yeah.
I feel like it might visually be overlooked. So, you know, again, this is definitely not one of my favorite Mario games. Not by a long shot, but I still think it's good.
We are not going to be at GDC. That'd be really cool to go to. I'd love to do something like that. But, I mean, as it is right now, like besides too many games, I mean, which we always go to, we have no convention plans. Nobody's
No, we're going.
gotten in touch with us.
We're confirmed for going to G Anime next January.
Yeah. And as far as I know, yes. Which was our first convention. They have like a it's like an anniversary year, so they're having like their favorite guests from past years. I think when we went there, we were really small. We were like under 5,000 at the time, I think.
Were we?
I think we were.
I thought we were more like 12,000.
I don't know. But we're definitely gonna be going to too many games because we like to go for fun. I'm sure, like,
Oh,
we'll have a panel and stuff. Hopefully we do. Yeah, I'll apply for it.
We gotta come up with a.
If anybody wants us to go to conventions, like, write to the people who have the conventions and tell them that you want us to go there. Because as long as it's any other weekend besides the weekend of the of August 11th, and we're open for it. I just have a family vacation that week. We were asked to go to like I think it was Long Island Retro Gaming Expo or something, and we couldn't go because I was going to be on my family vacation.
And we were invited
We got a
last year.
$10 donation from from Sean Quinn, who says, "Keep up the great work, guys. My son and I are having a great time watching."
Well, thank you.
I love making a show that parents can watch with their kids. I know I say that to you all the time. As a parent myself,
if you want,
it's very important that we make something that I feel is good for that the parents can watch with their kids. I think it's great.
If you want to make Coury's heart melt, go bring your kids up to him at a convention.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll make them feel really good.
And I always say it, like, I think I'm happy that we make the kind of show that we make as well, because I don't want to make something that will embarrass my kids in 10 years when they're teenagers. I guess. I mean, it still probably will to some extent, but Retro Morgan said he went to too many games his first con last year. He went for us.
I mean, too many games is it's one of the best cons right now for sure.
Yeah, and it's always fun hanging out with our good friend.
We need to come up with a collab for this year. We gotta come up with something.
I mean, California, we'd love to go to California for a convention, but they'd have to invite us. I mean, the ones that I want to go to the most are probably the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Retropalooza would be awesome to go to. And the Game On Expo would be awesome to go to, but that's on August 11th this year. So if we got invited to it, we wouldn't be able to go.
I can't pound the one that I had to pound because it was in the water. I think we got another donation. Adam Jenkins.
Oh, thank you. So the short episode's really great and appreciated. Tonight was a perfect example. You guys have detailed coverage of an issue which spans multiple platforms. Keep up the good work. I mean, really, like the episode from today is probably more work than what the minis would entail.
Oh yeah. But I probably could have done like. If I had the mini idea, I probably would have done like a small episode on the like the Nyko stands, and then a small thing on like the rose-colored things. Like that was something I wanted to do a long time back. Was something on charging docks, and I thought that it was like not really much to talk about, like with charging docks. Like it didn't feel like a complete episode idea.
Yeah.
And then
I saw someone really. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go on.
I was just gonna say I saw someone, Frank Strasser, mention Retro World Expo, and we've been invited the last 2 years. We couldn't make it, but I think that we might be going this year. If we're invited again, I think that we. Game Dave had a lot of good stuff to say about it, and it really has us kind of excited to go if we have the chance. Okay, so sorry.
Yeah,
I wanted to say it before I lost it.
I you know, I was just saying that you know, rose-colored, you know, said, you know, hey, is there anything you would like from our display section? And I was like, first I was like, I don't know. It's like, when people ask that kind of stuff, like, I'm not interested in it unless it, like, kind of builds upon an episode that I already want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, well, you know, that could kind of go... I mean, it might sound like a stretch, but in my head, I was like, oh, like, that's kind of like charging docks, except non-functional.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, I could do that.
We got a $1.99 donation from Jakester0565, and says, "You guys are great. Really enjoy your RGB episode." Well, thank you very much. Yeah, and you were wearing your Missouri GameCon shirt in this episode.
I was. That's right.
We would go. We were not invited this year. I'm not sure if they are done inviting people or not. I mean, we had a great time last year. It's only a 1-year convention, so I think they might.
1 day.
Yeah, did I say 1 year? It's a 1-day convention this year, so I feel like I think that a lot of the same, like the Metal Jesus group is going again, but I mean, I don't know if they're bringing all them and like that's what they're focusing on or what. Neither of us have a NVIDIA Shield TV box. But I mean, we'll see. I don't know like what the usual scheduling people for conventions, like how far in advance it usually happens. So I mean, maybe we just haven't been contacted about it. Or maybe maybe just think that we'd be too boring to have.
You know, if a lot of our documentary stuff, like, it's looking like we're going to have, like, several things in the works soon. And, like, if that, like, ties in with conventions, like, we could probably do some pretty fun, previews.
Oh yeah, I think
basically at our panels. I think we're kind of getting in a position where we'll have like unreleased material that we can show at that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah. Have you considered doing any sort of content related to retro PC gaming at all? Seems to have become much bigger in the past 3 years. I would love to have a retro PC just to like do stuff with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I blame that entirely on LGR.
Yeah.
Just like it's just like it makes it so much fun to watch. I'm
not at all qualified, I feel, to really get into that. I certainly have an interest in it, but I feel like we're just not enough experts to really give it.
Yeah, but
justice.
I mean, it's something we could learn. I mean, I would love to have like an old, like a Windows 95 PC, like top of the line Windows 95 PC, just like hooked up all the time.
Yeah,
we should see. I agree. We should see if we can have Clint on the stream again sometime. But his kind of, his LGR things that he does, very much inspiration for the kind of like the mini stuff that we want to do. Where it's kind of like, hey, I have this kind of cool thing. Let's talk about it for a few minutes and check it out.
Yeah. And, later on, like, those pieces could play into a bigger episode. But, so much of the time we're, like, holding back on things that it's like, oh, well, we gotta save it for this big episode, you know?
Right, exactly.
And
yeah.
there's,
And then we have no idea how far off that episode will be.
it can be a year or longer, and it's like, why not share this now, you know? Like, to, at least in a limited capacity.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, LGI just like releases so much good stuff. What a Windows 95 era PC. I mean, Windows 98 was probably. I saw someone mention that earlier. That's probably makes more sense. I mean, that's just something I got to really look into putting together. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm watching
Got
this.
real quiet for a
I'm
second.
watching this intense cutscene here.
Yeah.
It's so weird to have like FMVs in a Mario game. Like, I mean, they aren't rendered with like, you know, higher grade models really, but it's still weird.
Uh, 40p is not possible on the GameCube without the digital.
What,
On the system on the systems that don't have the digital.
Right, it's like, I mean, that's just where the signal comes from. Period.
Are we
fact,
gonna make a
if-
video on the retro? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say if 4AP is activated, if I'm not mistaken, the video just doesn't even come out of the analog port at all. Like audio does, but
Right. We'd love to do a video. I know that Try really wanted to like look at the retro fighters, and I was excited to hear his opinion of it because, I mean, that looks like an N64 controller that I could enjoy using. Excuse me. And we were contacted a while about it, but nothing ever came of it. Someone said that like on their Facebook page that we were the most requested people to look at it. We're not like really controller people, but I guess I was saying though, the N64 controller episode that we do have does pretty well. I mean, it's like has well over 100,000 views on it. Well, thanks for watching.
I'm about to
Ulysses,
die.
my machine.
oh, maybe not.
JDM boy, this is the EON HDMI adapter.
The GC HD, I think, is the proper
Right.
name.
How bright is the light on it?
The light? What do you mean?
Isn't there a light in the back? The little.
Oh, I have no idea. It's in the back.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it would illuminate inside of the
I don't know.
the nook that it's in. Powerhouse. Discord's had video. I want to say for at least like 6 months.
Ah, dang it.
What's the new console getting the treatment for a dedicated episode, for an RGB episode? Ideally, it's going to be probably either PC Engine or Wii, I think.
Yeah, I haven't kept up on it, but I know that Bob said something about what's his face? Citrus 3000 PSI. He's working on like a Wii HDMI, like a some sort of dual output mod, I think.
Right. But I think it's already out. I think he's finished it.
Oh, really?
For the Wii. No, I was talking. Aside with Dyson, we did. EON did send us the GC HD for this. It was sent to us.
What were we talking about before?
Well, I just want to say really quick that we got another $1.99 donation from Jakester0565 asking if we'll ever see a Dreamcast RGB episode, and absolutely we will.
Oh, that's what we were talking about. But yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think you can do Wii HDMI with a similar. Well, basically the same firmware that drives the GameCube stuff, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what the Wii stuff is based on. Anyway, like I don't want to do Wii until HDMI is ready.
Yeah,
basically.
I mean, when it comes like PC Engine is like ideally what I would like to do next. I mean, we have quite a few. I guess maybe like once we're just like really gonna get into it, we just probably have to put the word out, and people will have to lend us the systems we don't have. That's just what's gonna have to happen.
I will probably if Wii HDMI is not ready, I'll probably do PSP and Vita.
Yeah.
As far as what
we got a $2 donation from Tiffany Salem, who says, "Hey guys, thanks so much for everything you do. Your videos have made retro games 10 times more fun for me to enjoy opening an entire new world. I also became a patron today.
Well,
thanks
thank you.
again. I'd love to see LGR on the stream. Thanks for becoming a patron and for donating. LGR, if you go back through the archives, he was on the stream that we did where I played King's Quest on the Master System. But I would love to have him on again. I should, maybe I'll send him an email. Sorry, what were you saying earlier? Oh, but you're gonna do PSP next, or
PSP
probably
Vita. If there's nothing ready for Wii HDMI.
Right. To find the stream archives, if you go to the front page of the channel, there's a playlist that has them all in there. We make them all unlisted so that they don't show up as new videos, like after they're over with. But they're in a public playlist, so people can go do it. And also, if you go to, you can also, I make audio only versions of them. So you can listen to it in podcast form. You can find that like on iTunes, and it's like hosted on Podbean, so you can probably find out whatever stuff is, that stuff shows up at. But PSP will be a lot of fun.
I don't know why I always shoot a bullet bill from up there, even though I never actually hit when I shoot from that high. Or shoot a missile, whatever.
There is a Wii HDMI adapter on the eBay for cheap, but that's the that's like the Wii. What is it called?
Wii 2 HDMI.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing as what you saw on the PS2.
Right. I mean, I haven't really looked at it in depth, but remember, that's just converting the signal that you have access to on the outside, which is analog. You don't have access to a digital Wii signal externally. So that's what the HDMI mods are for, is to get digital access directly from the system without converting it analog to digital again.
Mm-hmm. saw a nice message earlier from Shrudo Paulson, who says, I want to second Motherfucking Gaming, making retro games more fun. There's always a debate between hardware versus emulation, and whatever works best is case by case for people. I just get way more into it. Yeah, I mean, everyone has their preferences. I think that's part of the fun.
It's just so weird. Like these cutscenes in this game are just weird.
Yeah. Well, they didn't do anything like this ever again, right?
What do you mean?
Where they're like talking to each other. It's like full on like FMVs like this.
Yeah, like.
Well, I mean, I guess they do.
Didn't. You know, I want to say 3D World, if I'm remembering right, had like no dialogue whatsoever. Like, it was all just kind of like mimed, basically. I think there might have been like some characters might have had some word bubbles, but
yeah,
not much. Like, there was no like cutscenes with text. That was something.
I was saying, you know, like I always see your name and I always think of Time Crisis. So I don't know if that's what you mean, you know, when you made this YouTube account, if you were playing Time Crisis. I mean, or if it's your real name. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna like if I want to get a retro PC, I really gotta get in there researching it. And just like going online and doing it, yeah, I can't imagine it'd probably be pretty pricey to ship. Oh, there's Studio Mudprints. Thanks for stopping in.
All right.
Everyone check out Studio Mudprints Bullet Heaven series. If you like shooters, it's the best on YouTube for sure. I mean, we haven't really had any problem with I mean, this will probably get claimed because of the full motion video. And Mario 2 got claimed, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, our streams, like, we don't really, you know, it's just they're more like for fun. Like like the streams themselves, like the like the ad revenue from them is like very, very small. So it's if it gets one or two gets claimed, it's totally fine.
How do I pick those up?
Electron Ash is actually amazing, like how much more people have come to our stream. Like since we started with a new stream layout, for some reason it's like really made a difference with the amount of people we get every week. I mean, it was always pretty random, you know, like around, you know, like between 100 to 200 people. But now it's like it's consistently up there, like in the 300s.
Yeah, anyone in the chat tell me what I'm doing wrong with these bombs?
Yeah, use the B button to pick them up.
I mean, I guess that's what I was trying to do. I think the problem was I was like holding forward and hitting B. You have to like come to a full stop, it seems.
There it is. I'll check that out. So Phil's Computer Lab. All right.
I got I haven't checked it out because I was working on the episode, but I got a Commodore 64 S video cable.
Oh, yeah, we got to try it out.
I want to try it out with that Commodore monitor.
Let's see here. How do you guys get green light to use video game music? I mean, we just use it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times where we don't get claimed is because it's very rare that you have more than like 8 seconds of untouched audio.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like our video, like there's an edit pretty much like every 8 seconds, so that helps it not get claimed. I think we haven't had any real trouble with it. I mean, I don't think we've had any episode get claimed, like any major episode. Like streams, yeah, but no episodes. I think it's just because you won't see us just putting up footage for a really long time without anything going on.
Mm. That Rumble Pack shot, I think it was like 17 seconds long. It was.
Oh, and he's taking the batteries out. But I mean, like, it's fine for that.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's funny that I normally don't do a shot that long. Like, I actually planned to have like 3 or 4 shots in that segment. But it was, how it goes. It was toward the end of the edit, and
See, these levels just stress me out so much.
I think they're neat. I mean, I really feel like this kind of stuff was like the starting point for Galaxy. I mean, Galaxy was more refined, of course, but I feel like this is like kind of like what started the ideas.
Yeah, I mean, and I didn't really like this, and so when I played Galaxy, that made it even more of a surprise that I liked it as much as I did. As video editors, are long shots considered cheating? No, not at all.
No, I mean
not at all. I mean, if they're planned out that way, I think it's totally fine. It's just that, I like to show as much as I can, I guess, in our episodes.
I mean, some of my favorite stuff is when a movie like does a shot for like a really long time.
Yeah. I just watched this movie, Bushwick. It is, the whole movie is pretty much edited in a way to seem like one continuous shot.
Yeah. I saw a horror movie a few years ago. That it was, they cheated a little bit, but I mean, it was intended to look like one shot. I love that kind of stuff. I mean, obviously that's, very challenging to do. You remember the opening scene in Spectre, the most recent Bond movie?
I barely remember anything about Spectre.
The opening scene, I thought the opening scene was in Mexico City on the Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
And it's a really long time until the first cut, and it looks really cool. I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to do the whole pre-title sequence in one shot, and then they start doing cuts. I was like, bummer. I was all excited too. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be so good. It's a great shot though, for as long as they carry it.
Yeah, Children of Men did that a lot too.
Oh really? It's been a while since I saw that.
I just watched Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets on Friday. It was kind of a big bomb. Did you just fall through the...
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
But it was done by the guy who did Fifth Element. And I thought it was pretty good. It was kind of a lot of ideas, I guess. Like, it's kind of started out with some ideas that were kind of hard to understand, kind of different dimensions and stuff. And I thought it was pretty cool though. I would recommend it. The main actor in it though, his voice sounds like a young Keanu Reeves.
I have no idea what Keanu Reeves sounds like after The Matrix.
I'm talking like he almost sounds like a Bill and Ted era Keanu Reeves. But not exaggerated in the same way, but just like the tone of his voice sounds very similar, I felt. Yeah, the EON HD is $150 on Amazon. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is one of the best movies. I would agree with you.
I've never seen it.
It's hard to say if you'd like it. I mean, you don't really care for the Goonies,
I mean,
right?
I thought Goonies was fine. I mean, I saw it, only a few years ago for the first time, as shocking as that may be. I mean, I thought the Goonies was fine.
Not that they're similar at all in any ways, but I feel like you wouldn't think that Bill and Ted is it doesn't seem like the kind of movie that you would think that you'd get. I don't think.
I mean, that I am a big fan of 80s movies. I mean, I'd about rather watch an 80s movie than anything, but.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that it requires like a lot of enjoyment of like music of the era as well. So I think that like a lot of it kind of comes from that. It's hard to say. I love the movie. I saw it in the theater even.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Goonies was fine, but it didn't resonate with me like I had hoped it would. being a fan of the 80s. I mean, I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. I just, it wasn't this amazing thing for me, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it is a stupid movie. I'm not saying that it's not a stupid movie. Like the idea behind it is. It's the idea behind it is absolutely stupid. Yeah, I have actually found that to be kind of a normal thing. Like even like the people that are, weren't like a certain age when the Goonies came out and didn't see it until much later. Even if they like 80s movies, they don't like it.
Well, it's not that I didn't like it.
But I mean, you just didn't.
It wasn't.
You didn't
special.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a special movie. I saw that movie at the drive-in. So were you going away that you were not supposed to be going? Is that why you were falling through the...
No, I mean, it's pretty free form. I think I can get where I need to go however I want, really.
Well, Bad Reality 2 is asking you how much you like Back to the Future.
Oh my gosh! Like, Back to the Future? Like, holy crap. The thing with Back to the Future, for me, like, I saw those movies when I was young, and then I didn't watch them again for a really long time. And when I revisited them in high school, I was just like, holy crap, like, I can't believe how perfect these movies are. I mean, especially the first, but like, I love like how the second like ties into the first. Like, yeah. I just get a huge kick out of that. Like I feel like Back to the Future is like one of a handful of movies that can be considered perfect.
Yeah, that's what Sean Quinn in the chat is saying.
Yeah, like
Wouldn't change a thing. Like it's right there, you know, perfect movies. Raiders of the Lost Ark's a perfect movie, I think.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, Back to the Future. You know what's newer, but might kind of fall into the perfect movie category is Hot Fuzz.
Oh.
That like the script, like, you know, like how things like tie back in later in the movie that, you know, like seems so inconsequential early on, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Terminator 2 is probably a perfect movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Aliens is a perfect movie.
Aliens probably. I haven't seen those as much, but I mean, like, you know, just from one watch, like it's pretty obvious that they. I mean, I've seen Terminator 2 several times. Aliens, I've only seen once. Really, the first Terminator, I think, is pretty perfect too.
I mean, I think that one of my favorite movies of all time, that I think is a perfect movie. I'm like, this probably would fall into the same category as Bill and Ted 3. Like, I doubt you've seen it, and it like requires like a lot of like enjoyment of music. I think is High Fidelity. Love that movie so much.
I feel like I should like switch to, I don't know, F-Zero or something.
You want to play something else? Yeah, sure. Why not?
I want to play F-Zero, I think.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I mean, F-Zero is the best game on the system. That would be fun to do, to sort my games into autobiographical order. Oh, the campaign is insane in this game. It's like, it's so difficult.
It's so
I've never
hard.
been able to finish it. It's like, I have no idea what they're even thinking.
Like,
They
even
made-
easy mode is like so hard.
Yeah.
Let's switch to the 16:9. Whoa. Oh. It's
I mean, this game has a true 16:9 modem. Oh,
it's upside down because of the
last time, right?
yeah.
Oh, because of the magazine stream, right?
Yeah.
It's looking good down there. It looks so crisp. That's what the GC HD makes it look like on your TV, your HD TV.
Here, I want to.
You want to go in the option mode to make it 16:9.
How can I? Well, it is already 16:9. Like,
Yeah. Oh, you
by
can
my
see the
settings.
you gotta fix my monitor down there. You can see the stream page.
Oh, oops.
You got a lot of unread notifications there. I don't know how to get rid of those notifications without going through one by one.
I'm just going. I'm
You
just
used to
going.
be able to mark them all as red. You can't do that anymore.
I'm just going to switch it to 4x3.
You have to switch the mode in the game then.
Yeah.
This is a game that the the save files are encrypted in this. You can't copy them to other memory cards. So they're locked to it. So I was able to use a homebrew application using my my SD reader to like take the save, copy it to an SD card, and copy it to my really big memory card. Jeremy Rutz, I would love to try that PSO on the GC. I need a broadband adapter, and they're like $80 to $100 now. That would be awesome. I would play that all the time. I'd stream it.
Oh,
Like
Fantasy
I
Star?
have a copy of Plus just waiting for it.
I've never really had a lot of interest in having a GameCube broadband adapter. Like, I know that, like, Mario Kart Double Dash is a big thing, but, you know, Double Dash is... I mean, I like Double Dash, but it's not one of my favorites. I got my enjoyment out of it at the time, but I can't really go back to it because I feel like Double Dash is like the first kind of... It's really the first modern Mario Kart. Like, it feels so similar to the Mario Karts that came after, but also different, if that makes sense. Like, it kind of established a lot of the feel, but it's different enough from the more recent Mario Karts that I just cannot play it anymore. But I have really no problem going back to like 64 because it's so different.
I have barely played it. I do have it, but I barely.
My big thing with
We
Double...
got a $5 donation from Jason DeWitt. Thanks for everything you guys do. Would you ever consider a Patreon tier that allows downloads like Digital Foundry does? I mean, I don't even know where we'd host that.
I mean, that's part of, you know, why it is a donation thing is obviously there's the cost of keeping it up. You know, I mean, some people were talking about, I think in our Patreon Discord, we're talking about, like, you know, would you ever consider, you know, providing your original files of comparisons? And I feel like the way we record a lot of that, like, I don't know if there's a ton of value in it.
At least earlier on. I mean, in the future, maybe.
In the future, but it's not like we record in like lossless formats or anything. I want to get a Ninja Inferno, which would record like ProRes, you know, format. I mean HDR, which I mean that's
everything. Like when we have those, it'll change.
Yeah, I mean that's very similar to what I mean.
That's what John does.
John uses a Shogun, which is you know, the next step up from Ninja Inferno. I don't really need that though. I mean, as far as I know, they have the same features, except the Shogun has B and C cables, which I'd rather save the money and get the Ninja Inferno. But that I could see doing something with that because that would be unique, especially for HDR games.
Right. Yep. This game is such a good looking game. I mean, all they would need to do is just release it in HD on the Switch, and that's all they would need to do.
It's just there's just a crisp look to it, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, in HD, it would totally hold up to everything that's out.
Yeah,
with the speed and everything. Like that's all they would need to do. But I heard
that make a better balanced version of the story mode too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure
other than the story mode difficulty, this is, you know, we're talking about perfect movies. This is basically a perfect game.
Well, besides the difficulty, I don't think you could make a better F-Zero.
No, like but I mean the Grand Prix mode is like, which is what I'm playing now, like is perfect.
Yeah. I mean, they did perfect the form. Sega perfected the form.
They did. I say that Skies of Arcadia is my favorite Sega game. This is probably my second favorite Sega. Well,
With your first being
I don't know. That might be a bit of a stretch, but it's very good. I mean, Wonder Boy and Monster World has to be up there somewhere, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think they could do it better. I heard somewhere, I don't know where it was from, but someone said that like Miyamoto didn't like it.
Right. Well, I think sometimes Miyamoto. I'm always like sometimes surprised by Miyamoto's brilliance, because sometimes it sounds like he has like no understanding of why what he has created like is popular.
Yeah.
Like he just sometimes says really weird stuff. Like, have you ever heard the one where he's like, I think the problem with the Mario movie was that they stayed too close to the source material. They didn't do their own thing with it. It's just like, what? But he, like, I think there was like a situation where he was surprised that like people like he didn't know that people like this game so much. I think because maybe it didn't sell amazing. And he didn't know that like people really liked this. He's like, oh, I thought people were done with F-Zero.
I have not used the action replay to access the F-Zero AX stuff, but can you unlock it and have it permanently available? Like make a save file with it permanently available? Because I would totally do that.
I don't know how I caught up to second place right by the end. I was like 15. I was gonna say something, but I forget what it was. That kind of reminds. Oh yeah, that's right. That reminds me of how the Chrono Trigger port just came out on PC, and apparently just like the graphics weren't totally redone like FF6 and FF5 mobile and stuff like that.
Which
but
looks bad anyway.
It's still got like the bad tiling issues and like really bad interface.
Yeah.
Someone brought up, I want to say it might have been in the Discord chat, I forget. Someone brought up that Yoshinori Kitase was apparently said a while ago that he didn't know people disliked the mobile ports. And he was like, oh, like people in America don't like the version with the brushed up graphics? Like, you just didn't know. It's like, well, I don't know. Maybe that look is more accepted in Japan, or for some reason that feedback, like it seems unbelievable to me that feedback wouldn't have reached them. What surprises me about those versions is that like the remade sprites were done by, I believe, the original character sprite artist.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think some people have argued that, it's more true to the intended vision. I don't know.
I don't know about that. Daniel, I'm glad you like the controller adapter video. I was kind of looking back on it recently, and you didn't use any footage from it, but the retro receiver is going to be part of it.
It was originally going to be part of that episode, yeah.
Right.
I did. I used some clips from that episode. I still really like that style that we did in that episode for like playing the controller with the the plain background and then sort of
right.
the thing in the corner.
A little talk about the Mario Brothers movie in the chat here, and I saw it this the day after it came out, and I saw it again. I want to say like 5 years ago in the theater in a midnight movie. I think it's pretty good. When I went to the Consumer Electronics Show in '93, there was a real life Goomba from that movie like walking around.
I like the Mario
it.
movie.
You bought it on Blu-ray, right?
I did. It's a steel book.
Yeah.
It was like sold in the UK from like some website called like Zombie or something like that.
The theater, I remember it being like about half full, probably. I sat in like the third row. I think that I went to see that, and my dad, my brother, my dad's girlfriend at the time, maybe somebody else went to see Mrs. Doubtfire, and I went to see Super Mario.
I think it's a fun movie. I mean, it's like it does not, to me, feel like incompetently made. Like, it's weird as heck, but I think it's just an entertaining adventure movie, you know?
Yeah.
Taking on its own merits. Like, I feel its quality is comparable to, you know, any other decent kids movie of the era.
Yeah, I mean, I was maybe, as a kid, I was probably like, well, what was that? But, you know, like, I didn't think it was bad.
You know, it still blows my mind, and I've always like been like, is this really true? Because, you know, everyone calls it the first video game movie, and it just always seems so unbelievable to me that was there really no video game movie until.
Well, there's joysticks. That was like that was a movie about video games.
Yeah, the first video game, like '93, just feels late for that. But really, is there a worse video game movie than Mortal Kombat 2? There couldn't be. There's not many movies worse than Mortal Kombat 2, period.
And the thing is like they had all the parts to make a good movie. The first one was pretty good. They had a pretty good setup. You know, and they could just take stuff from, you know, the games that were out, and it's just like, I have no idea. They had a good cast.
You know, as a person who is not a, I mean, I'm not a Mortal Kombat fan either, but I'm not a Street Fighter fan. I thought the Street Fighter movie was fun.
Yeah. Bad Reality was said, you know, Tron was made before Mario Brothers, which is technically a video game movie.
Yeah, but it's not based on it.
But it's not based on it. I love the first Tron.
I like Tron a lot more on my second viewing. Like, I saw it for the first time, I want to say about 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't really get into it. It was after, it was not long after Kingdom Hearts 2 was out, because that was kind of what drove me to check it out. Because it was in that, and it came out on not Blu-ray, DVD recently, so I got it, tried it, and it didn't really do it for me. But then I saw Tron Legacy. I thought that was really good.
Yeah,
like it was like much more immediately like, hey, this is a fun movie.
Yeah.
And you know, and then a while later, I rewatched both, and I appreciate and enjoy the first Tron a lot more now.
That's cool. That was definitely a staple of watching it at my dad's house growing up. Yeah, Tron Legacy, like I didn't love it the first time I saw it. Except for
Really? See, for some reason I thought
Ace,
you really liked Tron
Olivia,
Legacy.
whatever. Actress said. Olivia Wilde is like so good looking in Tron Legacy. Just that haircut. Yeah, that's a movie that's like definitely grown on me, and a lot of that movie is like made so good because of the music. Just like works so well with it.
Let's see what James McLeod has to say during his TV interview. I remember these being really stupid. It's been a while since I actually finished a Grand Prix. F-Zero TV.
I mean, even just like stuff like that, like that's like above and beyond what we kind of see in,
From the special F-Zero GP
you know,
venue,
like
we're
a
broadcasting
racing
an
game.
interview with the Grand Prix champion.
You know,
Okay then, I'd like to ask you something.
like got that thing on it. Where's it?
Got a message for the viewers?
A message for all your TV fans out there?
Galaxy Dog, mercenaries for hire. Give us a call.
Thank you for the interview. That's it, everyone. We'll see you at
Galaxy
the next
Dog.
Grand Prix.
F-Zero TV.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for playing.
There's such a look to Sega's games in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. I really have a soft spot for that look of Sega game.
Yeah. I mean, they were just releasing so many good games on all systems pretty much at the time. It was, you know, taking off, like coming off after like the Dreamcast. Just all that stuff that they probably had planned for the Dreamcast.
Mm.
I do a
Well,
couple. I guess it's a little bit after 11. I mean,
yeah, do we want to do anything else or what?
no, I mean, unless you got anything else you want to try out.
No, not off the top of my head.
Do you want to look at the GBI really quick? With it?
We could look at something real quick.
Yeah.
I don't.
as-
The
You have-
the GameCube that the GCHD, because I didn't want to like unplug my component cable GameCube to use it. So
Right,
I'm
right,
having
right.
another GameCube. This is too far away to use the
Could you just take the SD reader out? Oh, you're talking.
the Hori
okay.
pad.
Yeah.
I'll grab something. Hang on.
Okay. Teaser for next episode. It's going to be a look at the Wii Virtual Console. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be way longer than we thought it was going to be. It's not about video quality. We look at video quality of each system that's on it compared to like the real thing. But it's more about like, hey, you know, the Wii Virtual Console is, you're only gonna be able to buy points for it for like another month, for like the rest of this month. So it's just kind of saying like, hey, you know, if you want to get any of these games, here's the ones that we like, that we recommend. And we have a bunch of guest appearances. We have one guest appearance per console that's represented. So I want to say, I think we're gonna have like 7 guest appearances, like talking about what game they think people should get to. It's supposed to be a quick episode, and now it's like gonna be over 4 minutes. And the time that it's gonna be relevant is pretty it's pretty small, I guess. But you know, it's just, I think it's fun.
All right, the aspect ratio I'm sure will be a bit screwed up, but
Yeah, it's all right.
I'll
But that's gonna be, hopefully, Try won't be able to get his stuff to me until Tuesday, so I'll probably be editing all week and then into the weekend. So probably maybe next Sunday at the earliest, I'm guessing. I got a kind of a big week coming up, so I'm gonna prioritize it. Once I get his stuff, then I can lay everything down.
There's this weird thing where
Oh, my screen's messed up. I've turned into
oh,
Chrome.
oh, just hang on, I'll switch it to that.
Yeah, you can add points to buy stuff until the 26th or 25th. And I think that we try to recommend like between 1 and 3 games each per platform. So there's a lot of games covered in it. Oh my God, Superhero Game Squad is in the chat. I'm guessing that's Aaron. Thanks for stopping in.
Let's resize this a bit.
Yeah. Oh, of course, the Rebirth series is in there.
Actually,
And
the aspect ratio doesn't look that bad.
The Rebirth games are awesome. I mean, the Contra Rebirth is so good. It's so over the top, and it's just like it has so many good things from the from past games. What? You die like right away. Oh. I left a second. Darsiska, I'm glad you enjoyed it today. I mean, I think it's important for us to, do different stuff like that. Keeps us like enjoying our time as well.
I'm not gonna
Try
say what
pressing
it.
C. Oh, Extreme says try pressing C down.
Oh.
Or do.
What is that doing? It's like doing something weird to the counter. What? Why is it doing that? Or there's like an overlay? What is that? It's doing something like over... Like, what's up with that?
I'll wait for him to respond.
That's so weird. What does that mean? What does it mean?
I'll wait for him.
I haven't. This is just vanilla
you haven't updated
GBISR on here.
Oh, okay.
So in theory, this is no lag, which amazingly enough is compatible with the HDMI. I don't know if that is like kind of an OSSC style situation where like it would also need to be compatible with your TV, like the GBI SR through the HDMI. Like, I don't know if that's like, if there's a possibility your TV wouldn't work with that.
The Rebirths and Mega Man 9 and 10 are 480i. They are not. They're not 240p. It would have been awesome if they were 240p.
Yeah.
But I mean, especially like the Rebirth stuff is like not designed with 240p.
Ah. So did Extreme say what that down C thing is? Like what is it? Oh, it's a controller. Oh, it's showing what? Oh, it's showing the controller light up. So if you had a way, could you use like the Wavebird receiver LED to do a lag test? Interesting. Let's see. Let's do a random. I think the most recent WarioWare game was the DIY.
Oh, I haven't played any.
Nah. This is like the only WarioWare game that I really love.
How do we finance all these consoles and peripherals to do all these fantastic videos? I mean, a lot of the stuff we've just like had. You know, we have a lot of stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean,
up.
sure, like
and also like thanks to Patreon, we can get the stuff that we need and have been able to. And also going in the debt, or not really, but I mean, you know, like our jobs allow us to get the stuff that we need at times as well. Kind of borrow against ourselves at times. That's a good way to put it. You should look at the options at least presented in Swiss.
Hmm.
Extreme says you should look at the options presented in Swiss.
Oh, can I choose any?
Well, if you
can I choose any option without setting up the text file? Because I would really like that if I could just like check it out in Swiss without having to like edit the text file. Because I don't really know a lot about the options that are available right now.
Yeah, Tech Assistant, I know we realize that, you know, like the people can get like the VC stuff through Homebrew. But, you know, there's some people that might not have any interest in doing that, I guess.
Right. I mean, you know,
it's great for preservation, you know, like it's
very
we have
important.
absolutely say in the video, we say, you know, we realize that you can do this, and it means these games are essentially like not going away.
Right.
But,
And
you know, for people who prefer to like, you know, pay for the stuff that they want.
yeah, and some people might never want to install Homebrew, you know?
Yeah. And also, it's just a way for us to talk about games that we probably won't have another chance to.
Right. It's like that's so many episodes are like, you know, hey, here's a collection of games that we would never do an episode on their own.
Yeah. It's kind of like the stealth way of, like the stealth.
Hidden gems.
Well, I mean, like, I wouldn't consider it that, but I mean, it's like kind of just a stealth way to show, you know, showcase stuff that just didn't fit anywhere else for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hack-tweets are extremely common. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, some people might not care. I mean, might not have any interest in that kind of stuff.
And, you know, certainly, you know, following, you know, not being able to add points, I don't think anyone can fault anyone for, you know, just loading these games up on a Wii, because it's not like you can buy them, you know?
Yeah.
But
exactly.
Like for me, there's just like, you know, we've talked about it a lot. There's just like something that makes me want to spend more time with a game when I've spent money on it. You know, so it's always like kind of, I don't know, I'll never end up putting real time into a game that I didn't spend money on. Like, it's just, I don't know how my mindset is. Like, I can't.
Yeah. I mean, this is, you know, I agree.
To
When
it.
you
It's
have
just like,
everything available
you know,
to
I'm
you
gonna play something else.
if you have everything available to you for nothing, then you're very like you're less likely to spend the time.
Yeah, just very indecisive. So we got a donation from Retro Morgan.
Yeah, it says he said can't say enough good things about what you guys do. Thanks for everything. Thank you.
Oh.
Will Carpenter asks, dumb question, you have any recommendations for video settings on a FrameMeister for the first time? I mean, you're pretty much okay, just like plugging it in and going.
Yeah, I mean the default settings aren't, I mean I don't recall changing settings a whole lot initially.
Yeah.
But I mean, I recommend downloading the Firebrand X profiles. Just read the instructions of how to use them. I mean, it's very easy, and I think it's worth it.
KP Senti, we are going to be doing WiiWare alongside virtual console.
It's very virtual console heavy, though.
Yeah, I mean, WiiWare just pops in as like, you know, gets the same kind of exposure as each virtual console system. It's not even about like virtual console versus WiiWare. It's like each platform available.
Right. And, you know, I feel like for so many of the games that are available, I feel like the Wii is the most compelling system to play those games on, other than original hardware, because of the 240p output and the ease of making that 240p output happen. I mean, you know, I know there's methods with Raspberry Pis and stuff, but you know, I've always liked how the Wii emulators are, you know, tuned for the games that they're running. So, you know, I other than like some N64 stuff, I can't recall anything specific I ever saw in a Wii emulator where I was like, where I noticed it not running as it would originally.
Yeah,
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but you know, it's just that 240p aspect. Like for Neo Geo stuff,
the darkened NES games.
Other than that, but yeah, but I mean, that's a different matter. I'm talking about the game running.
Yeah.
But the 240p stuff, like especially for stuff like Neo Geo, I'm never, I want to have the Shock Troopers games. In 240p on a console. Is not physical, but it's a good way to play those games.
Especially when a lot of those games are on a compilation, but I think they're 40i and 40p on the Wii.
Right. I think so.
Like there's the Metal Slug collection. That's I think.
Oh yeah, Neo Geo's on Neo Geo's like big on VC. It's like one of the bigger systems. It's like, is it like 50 some games maybe? It's like quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of games on it. Yeah, I don't know how many exactly because you do the introduction for the Neo Geo.
Yeah.
Section.
Yeah,
there's also compilation discs. I mean, but you're not gonna find Ironclad on any compilation. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I don't think they're 240p.
Right.
I think the Virtual Console is the only place where some of these games were released as 240p,
Oh, we got a
other than the
donation from Blade
originals.
Lore.
Thank you.
What did he say? It says
He says
been gone for a while, but still keeping it to an age-old tradition.
Thank you.
But yeah, Neo Geo is pretty good. You know, and TurboGrafx stuff is
Hit and
good,
miss.
but most of it is 480i, 480p, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. But yeah. So you already kind of talked about what you're, you know, I mean, we were just talking about it. You know, that's kind of what you're working on next.
Oh yeah, and then after that, it's going to be portable EverDrive. What new EverDrives do you guys plan on showing off? I have a script almost finished for Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, and Game Gear. I'm waiting on one more part for it, so I can wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do a couple of short things, and then
You're really feeling an itch to do like a game episode, which
Yeah.
we were actually talking about earlier. That this is the first episode that only had you. that you have done in over a year.
Since Cameo, which was in January.
Yeah.
The previous January was Cameo. Yeah, it was the first episode that you were not in at all. Like the Super UFO episode was close. You only did the intro to that.
Yeah. And that was in what, like June, July?
Yeah, if you hadn't captured that Bayonetta footage, you would have had zero contribution to this episode.
Yeah.
I cut out a mistake last minute when Coury mentioned something about the 3DS stand. I had originally said that you have to import the 3DS stand from Japan, but I then double checked after Coury mentioned something, and I saw you can get it on Nintendo's online store. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if it was actually a Japanese box, though. But the fact of the matter is, if you can't buy it through Nintendo's online store, I really shouldn't say that. But at one point, you did have to import the new 3DS XL dock from Japan. At one point, you did. But I took that out. I took out saying that you had to import it. But what was funny was Coury's got a regular 3DS, new 3DS.
Yeah.
And I've got the new 3DS XL, and you gave me, because you don't really keep your hardware boxes, and I do, and you've given me a few of your hardware boxes. And so I shot B-roll of my box for my stand next to your box for your stand. But I cut out the line, so I cut that out. So that was a little bit of a contribution that you had to this episode that was removed. So really, it was just the Bayonetta footage. I've got a thing where it doesn't always happen, but I like to have at some point while the music for the game is playing, I like to have video of that game.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be the first thing you see.
I like to try to do that, and because I feel like in a way it like legitimizes using the music. You know, if any stodgy company wanted to fight about it, you know, it's like, oh, you know, it was from the game that was shown, it was relevant, right? So that was I just thought it would be fun to kick off that section with some Bayonetta footage, even though there was very little game footage in the episode.
Well, is that gonna do it?
I guess that'll do.
All right. Hope everyone has a good week coming up, and we'll see you next weekend.
Yeah. Good night, everyone.
Good night.